What's going on, guys? Shane here. Thanks for joining me. Hope you're all doing great. Well, today's going to be a really quick video where we're going to be discussing a new addition to my Shorty AR here, and that is this UTG Pro 5-inch Forerunner rail. Now, if you guys missed the previous video, I'll annotate in the corner. We discussed, kind of where this build started, where it's going. I believe that video was the what paint matches Magpul Flat Darker. So if you want to see more about the build or the paint, because this is painted by me, the card will be in the corner. Feel free to check it out. Long story short, this thing started out as a 10.5-inch pistol, and I wanted to just make it as short as I possibly could. 5-inch barrels are pretty easy to find. There's a ton out there, but it's not as easy to find a good 5-inch or smaller rail that really does show off, the muzzle device and show how short that barrel really is. So when I was looking, I immediately reached out to UTG first to see if they had something, and they actually had this rail, but it was in, I think, the prototype phase. It wasn't even in production yet, so we did have to wait, but because I knew it was coming, we went ahead and moved forward with the build. And they sent it out, and I'm really glad they did. You guys know, if you watch the channel, I'm a huge fan of UTG Pro rails. I have a bunch of theirs. But when this thing first started, I liked their rail so much, I actually took one of their 15-inch rails and cut it down myself to fit the pistol, just to get the job done until this smaller rail showed up. So again, I just want to get on camera, talk about the rail. So let's get the camera over the table. Let's take a closer look at this thing, talk about the specs, the prices, all that good stuff. Let's get it started. Alright guys, so here's a closer look at the UTG Pro 5-inch Forerunner rail. This thing is, as you would expect, made from 6061 T6 aluminum, and it is matte black hard coat anodized. And I actually really do enjoy the coating that they put on their rails. This, like I said before, it's matte, it's not very shiny, and it also has a slight texture to it, almost like maybe like a chalkboard, so it's not super slick. I really do enjoy the finish they put on this rail. Now, when it comes to mounting accessories on the Forerunner, you have mounting slots in the form of m-lok at the 3, 6, and 9 o'clock position. Now, obviously, the number of slots you actually have is determined by what length of rail you go with. On this particular version model, we have one full slot on the 3 and 9 o'clock position, and you have 2, I believe, at the 9 o'clock position. And while we're on that topic, guys, UTG Pro actually measures the 5 inches from the bottom of the rail. So from the point where it touches the receiver to out here is the 5 inches. And actually from up top where it touches the receiver to the front of the rail is only 4.75. So I actually consider this a 4.75 inch rail, not a 5. And that extra ½ inch makes a world of difference when it comes to not covering up your muzzle device. So a big thumbs up for having even a shorter rail than the 5-inch they advertise. Now, when it comes to machine work, UTG Pro always does a fantastic job. As you guys can see, hopefully I'm rolling in close-ups. They did a great job of not only removing material where it's not needed to lighten the rail, which isn't so much of a big deal on a smaller rail like this, but on a 15-inch, that weight, that material is going to add up. So as you can see, they machined out not only holes in the rail for weight, heat distribution, but also just to remove that material. They also have some little slots here on the edges. I'm assuming those are for grip, just to help you grab onto the rail a little bit easier. But overall, it's just a really good job machining. There's no sharp edges. All the edges are contoured and chamfered, so it's a really smooth looking rail. They always have done this thing with their rails that I appreciate, but they've scalloped in between the pick slots, just so things don't have a chance of getting caught in there like a sling. They should, just be able to scoop right out. And also, you can see they've removed Picatinny sections from the top middle of the rail to, again, cut down that weight, because most of you are probably like me and you really don't mount much between the receiver and the end of your rail. So that's just wasted material and weight. So they do remove that, and they allow you to have some Picatinny slots here at the front to mount a front sight post, or front sight. Now, when it comes to installing this thing, guys, it is super easy. UTG Pro has always been the easiest rails to install. They've one of the few companies that have understood that, not asking folks to worry about timing just makes it so much easier. You just go to a torque and you're good to go. So this rail specifically does have a titanium barrel nut. Like again, it requires no timing with the gas tube whatsoever. Unfortunately, I can't show you guys how it installs, but it kind of use your imagination. You basically tighten on the barrel nut, take your torque wrench, go to the right torque, and then you really just slide on your rail and tighten it down. They do have some anti-rotation tabs on both sides here. They're going to help lock that rail in place and keep it from rotating or shifting. And you can always do what I do whenever I do tighten this down fully. I find something that can bridge this gap here, and I tighten it down to really lock the rail in place so it's like one uniform rail at the top, and then tighten down. Now when it comes to tightening down the rail itself onto that titanium barrel nut, again, it's really easy. There's a channel on the barrel nut that the screws intersect with that hold it in place. Hopefully I will in pictures, you guys can see it off the website. But what's really nice too is that these screws have a locking mechanism in there, so you can basically tighten these things down. You don't have to worry about them ever coming loose. Another really nice thing I like about UTG Pro, besides all the other things that I've already said, is that they're great with including accessories for you guys, so you don't have to spend extra money to get some things done. So out of the packaging, you get the rail, the barrel nut, all the things, but they also include a Picatinny section, so if you guys want to, you can install that and run a light, or if you have a grip that isn't direct m-lok, you can install that. And they also include a QD point for your sling. So again, no extra cost to you. You guys can install that, run your sling, and not worry about having to spend extra money or wait for it to arrive. So right out of the box, UTG Pro gives you everything you need to get this thing installed and really go out to the range and start shooting, practicing, and training. Now I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that like the look of the rail, you like the features, the specs, the things they include, but 4.75 just isn't what you're looking for. Most of you probably have a 14.5 inch barrel, or 16, something like that. So if you guys like the look of this rail and you want to see what other sizes they have, they do offer this again in the 5 you see here: a 7, a 10 inch, a 14, a 15, and a 17. So they really give you a chance to pick any rail size that works for you. Just keep in mind that the measurement listed on the websites, the top is about ½ an inch shorter than the actual length. So your 17 inch down here is technically 16.5, and you guys can figure it out. So they definitely have tons of options in length of this specific rail. If you guys also want to just go check out the other rails, they have a ton of really great rails. Hopefully I'm running in some B-roll so you guys can check it out. But they got some cool ones for the you standard folks out there who just want black. But if you guys want something kind of tricked out and crazy, they have red, blue, and tan color. All sorts of crazy anodizing. So again, hopefully I'm running in B-roll. You guys can check that out. Either way, you should if you're in the market, you really should go look at UTG Pro. They do offer some fantastic rails at some great prices. All right, guys, that about wraps it up on the 5-inch UTG Pro Forerunner rail. Now, as you guys saw earlier in the video from the close-ups, this thing is just it's a damn good looking rail. It's great machine work. It's got all the accents in all the right places. It's got all those extra features we talked about for alignment. Super easy to install. I really can't say that enough. And don't forget, UTG Pro also includes that Picatinny section and also a QD sling mount. So really good on them for including that. It's just extra parts that you don't have to spend money on that other companies really don't do. But yeah, guys, that just about wraps it up on this rail. Like I said, it's a fantastic rail. I love their stuff. So if you guys are in the market for a 5-inch or something longer in the 14, 15-inch range, you really should go check out UTG Pro's Forerunner rail. But yeah, guys, that about wraps it up. Hope you found the video informative. If you did, feel free to give it a like. If you haven't, feel free to subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, stay safe, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.